can turn you into a morning person. It can help fuel some pretty tough stuff. And it can definitely make cartoons funnier.
No, it can't.
Oh, well, it can have a little edge. But come on, even kiddies love it. It'll keep up with you at any age. It makes engines whir and creme brulee creamy. It's one of the easiest labels you'll ever read. And anything that makes this happen is pretty special. In fact, what can't milk do?
Appears a program designed to give people more space to get outdoors during the pandemic is causing some major traffic headaches. We'll tell you all about that coming up. The province releasing the latest COVID-19 numbers and trying to decide on the rest of the school year in Ontario. 2 people are dead and 2 others have been hurt after a shooting in Oakville. We'll have the latest on that investigation straight ahead. It is 8 o'clock, 14 degrees from 299 Queen Street West. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. Good evening. I'm Lena Latifat. Our top story tonight, 1 person has died following an apartment fire in the area of Midland and Lawrence. The fire broke out shortly before 6:30 this evening at an apartment on Gilder Drive. As crews were working to put that fire out, they found a body inside one of the units. So far, there have been no details released about the victim. The Ontario Fire Marshal has been called in to investigate. Keep it here on CP24 for the latest on this developing story. And another developing story we're following, this one out of Peel Region. A man has died following a collision in Brampton. Police say a car and a motorcycle collided in the intersection of Credit View Road and Sandalwood Parkway. This was around 6:30 this evening. The motorcyclist was pronounced dead at the scene. A pedestrian was taken to a trauma center by air ambulance, while the 2 occupants of the car were taken to local hospital with minor injuries. A city initiative on social distancing seems to be creating a major headache for some drivers. The Active TO initiative was launched this weekend to give pedestrians more space to get outdoors by closing some streets. However, a closure on Lakeshore Boulevard East from Windermere to Bathurst has snarled traffic in the area.
Getting off, they were taking their dogs for a walk and whatever, and they were coming back half an hour later, and you had maybe moved like 50 meters.
Stressful, but hey, it's a one day everybody gets to go out. The weather is good, and it's a long weekend, so you kind of prepare for it.
This is great, actually. It's really nice to run down the road. No traffic, no distraction, lots of space here.
Those are the road. It is. I know it's frustrating. I know traffic is frustrating. Please don't pull any U-turns and end up on the Gardiner going the wrong way. It's that would be very dangerous.
The city eventually fixed the traffic issue by closing the off-ramp to Lakeshore Boulevard west from eastbound Gardiner Expressway. Areas taking part in this program, the Active TO program, include Kensington Market, High Park Avenue from Bloor to Annette Street, and Kew Beach Avenue from Waverly Road to Lakeshore Boulevard East. If you're looking for a full list, you can head to the city's website. Here's a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers for the city of Toronto. There are 129 new cases, taking the total to 8,386, including 672 deaths, that is. 428 of those are sick in hospital, 95 of them in the ICU. Overall, 6,189 people have recovered from the virus in the city. The latest numbers are out for the province. Ontario has recorded 391 new cases of COVID-19 and 33 new deaths. That brings the total number of cases to 22,313 with a total of 1,858 deaths. There are also 17,020 cases resolved in the province. Testing numbers are also up with almost 18,000 tests completed yesterday. Meanwhile, the CEO of the Medical Laboratory Professionals Association of Ontario, Michelle Hode, says maintaining the province's targets of 20,000 tests a day may be unrealistic.
The anticipation I have is, first, lab professionals are professionals. So they're going to come into work every day. They're going to determine how they're going to schedule their shifts to try to meet the demand. What we want the public to be aware is that we will definitely run into some sort of issue eventually. You can't expect to meet 20,000 tests a day of COVID-19 testing. And as the Premier announced yesterday, anyone that has symptoms can now request to be tested. That's going to raise that demand. I think we need to be patient and understand that hitting those numbers may not be realistic.
And the Ford government will be announcing a plan for Ontario's school year sometime next week. Premier Ford says the province wants to take a look at the numbers before making a final decision. Schools, they've been closed since March 13th, and they will remain shut down until at least May 31st. More now on our top story. One person has died following an apartment fire in the Midland and Lawrence area. For more on this, let's go live to CP24's Beatrice Faisman, who has just arrived on scene. Beatrice.
And we just pulled up here, Lena, just a couple minutes ago. This is 31 Gilder. This is in the Eglinton and Midland area. And it is an apartment building. Here's what Toronto Fire has told us so far. They responded to this fire just, let's say, before 6:30 tonight. This is a high-rise, 19 floors high. It was a second-floor unit where the fire and the smoke were emanating from. Not a lot to see here from the exterior of the building, but we don't know what it looks like inside. Firefighters say that they had nearly zero visibility with lots of heavy smoke when they first arrived here on scene, a lot of heat. And this individual was discovered inside a unit here in this building. We don't know at this point if it's a man or a woman or how old they are. All that we've been able to confirm is that one person was located inside one of these units. As of 7 o'clock tonight, crews were still trying to fight the fire. They were putting water on the fire, trying to put out hot spots. It looks, from what I can see here, like the work of these firefighters is essentially nearly done now. Only one or two fire trucks left in the vicinity. I don't know either if the building has been evacuated, but I can tell you there's at least one TTC bus here on scene as well that'll be helpful in keeping people warm into the evening if that's the route that investigators decide to take here. All we also know to the Ontario Fire Marshal's office has been called in, so an investigator should be here sometime soon, and they'll be looking to see if this is a fire that is suspicious or whether it was deemed accidental. At this point, we simply don't know what caused this fire, but I'll be here tonight gathering some information here from the scene, and of course, we'll bring you the latest on CP24 when we get it. Lena, it's back to you.
All right, Beatrice, we'll continue to check in. Here's a look now at the latest numbers across the country and around the world. Canada has recorded more than 75,800 cases with more than 5,600 deaths. Globally, there are more than 4.5 million cases and more than 308,000 deaths, according to Johns Hopkins University. Also today, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced details of a boost to the Canada Child Benefit.
You can expect to receive $300 more per child when you get your benefit this Wednesday. But that's not all. Starting on July 20th, we will increase the Canada Child Benefit once again for the upcoming year. Every summer for the past 3 years, we boosted the CCB to help keep up with the cost of living. And this summer will be no different. As the price of your groceries go up, so will the benefit.
We want to make sure that as Canadians deal with the economic and other effects of COVID-19 pandemic, that we are there for Canadian workers and Canadian families. And the increase to the one-time increase to the Canada Child Benefit will do exactly that. In addition to that, the Prime Minister also spoke about an increase to the Canada Child Benefit on July 20th, which is now another increase based on the cost of living index.
The Prime Minister also announcing today that Canada is moving forward with the development of a potential vaccine for COVID-19. Health Canada has now approved the first Canadian clinical trial for a potential vaccine. The work is being done at Dalhousie University in Halifax. Trudeau says research and development takes time. It must be done right, but he also says this is encouraging news. The Canadian Air Transport Security Authority is now requiring people traveling by plane to wear face coverings. The new rules require people to wear a face covering over their mouth and nose before entering screening checkpoints. Homemade masks, scarves, and bandanas are all considered acceptable face coverings. Those who cannot wear a face covering for medical or health reasons are required to let screening officers know before passing through the checkpoint. Amazon is ending its pandemic-related pay incentives for Canadian workers at the end of this month. A company spokesperson confirmed today that Amazon will stop paying employees an extra $2 per hour and double overtime. Those incentives have been in place since this pandemic started. They were originally set to stop at the end of April, but they were extended in North America until May 30th. 8:09 now, 13 degrees. You're watching Toronto's breaking news, CP24. Toronto police are treating the discovery of a body in a downtown building as a suspicious death. We'll tell you all about this case after the break.
They say it takes around 10,000 hours to truly become an expert at something. So if we've been seasoning, curing, and smoking our meat since 1890, that means we've been experts for about 1,128,000 hours now.
A lot of folks ask me why their dishwasher doesn't get everything clean. I tell them, it may be your detergent. That's why more dishwasher brands recommend Cascade Platinum. It's specially designed with the soaking, scrubbing, and rinsing built right in. And unlike Finish tablets, Cascade Platinum dissolves quickly. Cascade Platinum removes stuck-on food for sparkling clean dishes the first time. Choose a detergent that lets your dishwasher do the dishes. Cascade Platinum, the #1 recommended brand in North America.
Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation members have now ratified central bargaining agreements reached with the provincial government. The agreements were reached back on April 20th, and they affect education workers, teachers, and occasional teachers within the union. Union President Harvey Bischoff says while members recognize that the deals are less than perfect, they do provide stability needed in these trying times. Also making news, 2 men are dead and 2 others are injured following a shooting in Oakville. Halton police say it happened just after 3 a.m. in a commercial business area near Iroquois Shore Road and 8th Line. 1 man was found dead at the scene, while a second man was pronounced dead in hospital. 2 additional victims are in hospital with unknown injuries.
It's very quiet, and it is what I would think like typical Oakville, very quiet. And I live just down the road from here, which is why I was able to come down. And yeah, something like this is not what you expect whatsoever on a Saturday morning.
Police say no arrests have been made and the shooting appears to be targeted. No suspect descriptions have been released. A man is dead after an incident downtown. According to Toronto police, the man was found unconscious inside the Commons area of a building near Richmond Street West and John Street with what appears to be stab wounds. He was pronounced dead a short time later. Police are treating that death as suspicious. A man accused of killing a popular Toronto DJ made a court appearance today. 27-year-old Rico Harvey is charged with second-degree murder in the death of 52-year-old Peter Eli. Police released these security images of the suspect as part of their investigation. They say it does not appear that the suspect and victim were known to each other. Police were called early Thursday morning after Eli was found with obvious signs of trauma at an apartment on Beloyal Street. Emergency crews had originally been called to put out the fire. India is reporting a spike in COVID-19 cases. The country's health ministry reporting nearly 86,000 cases with more than 2,700 deaths. India's government is due to announce this weekend if it'll extend a 54-day-old lockdown. Early this month, it started gradually easing restrictions to resume economic activity by allowing neighborhood shops to reopen and manufacturing and farming to resume. Sudan has reported its highest one-day total of COVID-19 infections. Sudan's health ministry confirmed 325 new cases today and 6 new deaths. The African country now has more than 2,200 confirmed cases and 97 deaths linked to this virus. Most of those sick are in the capital, where around-the-clock curfew has been placed since last month in an effort to stop the spread of this virus. Brazil's health minister has resigned amid the country's ongoing response to COVID-19. The resignation follows numerous clashes with the country's president over the last couple of weeks. It marks the second time the country's health minister has stepped down during the pandemic. Brazil has reported more than 220,000 cases of the virus. China has now gone a month without reporting any new deaths linked to this infection. 4 new cases were reported today, all connected to a cluster in the Northeast. Health officials say only 91 people are receiving treatment across the country. China is in the process of testing all 11 million people living in Wuhan, the epicenter of the original outbreak. This after 6 new cases emerged last week. While many countries have started to ease pandemic restrictions, Chile has done the opposite. Markets and streets in Santiago looked empty today, one day after Chile tightened its lockdown in an effort to stop the spread of COVID-19. People will now need a police permit to leave their homes, and those in violation face being fined thousands of dollars. 80% of all COVID-19 cases in Chile are in Santiago. Dozens of people, including a senator, were detained during a protest involving business owners in Warsaw. The demonstrators were protesting new restrictions brought in to limit the spread of the virus. Poland has more than 18,000 cases of the virus and more than 900 deaths. British police made several arrests today as dozens of protesters gathered in a park in central London to oppose lockdown restrictions. The protesters marched in Hyde Park carrying signs that said "Freedom over fear." This is the first weekend since the UK government announced it was easing restrictions. Members of the Italian hospitality network held protests in several cities today. They say pandemic restrictions are negatively impacting their income. Restaurant managers and owners, they expressed concerns that new safety measures will not allow them to work properly and could lead to financial losses for their businesses. People in Tel Aviv rushed to the beach as temperatures hit 38 degrees there. Israel began easing lockdown measures earlier this month, and authorities say beaches will only be open for short periods for the time being. Israel, by the way, has reported more than 16,000 cases of COVID-19 and more than 250 deaths. Hundreds of people in New Jersey headed for the beach this weekend. People lined up to purchase badges to allow them access to the beaches in the town of Belmar. The badges are required for admission to the beaches from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekends. They'll be required daily when the beach season officially opens. That's on the third Monday of June. It is 8:17, 13 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. Coming up after the break, we'll get a check on that weather forecast with Patricia Jaggernaut. Stay with us.
I want you to help me. You don't just give up on the people you love. Stay away from my case. Game's not over. Buckle up. Ooh.
Most of our clients who come through our door and who are suffering from mental illness, they're feeling a sense of despair and a longing for help. Often, insurance companies are denying disability claims on the basis that there's insufficient medical evidence. We've represented hundreds of clients who suffer from anxiety or depression. We fight for our clients' right to receive the compensation they deserve. If you've been denied long-term disability, don't give up. We can help.
Your long-term disability firm, Kotak Law. better days will take some work. But Ram is more than willing to do our share. Right now, with Employee Pricing Plus, you pay what we pay. 0% financing for 84 months and no payments for 120 days. And you can shop online at ramtruck.ca. Ram, helping you drive forward with Employee Pricing Plus and 0% financing for 84 months.
As new patient numbers show signs of dropping, what steps will be taken to reopen the city and the province? And how will it all unfold? The latest live, on air, online, and on the iHeartRadio app on CP24.
This year it's all out war.
Russia's changing how they fish.
Deadliest Catch, all new. Tuesdays at 10 Eastern on Discovery and Discovery Go.
19, still 13 degrees out there. Let's get a check on this wonderful weather forecast with Patricia Dagernow.
Hey, Lena.
Patricia,
Yes.
it seems like this is the nicest day of the long weekend.
It definitely seems that way because it is the nicest day, of the long weekend. You got to enjoy the sunshine, I hope. A lot of you at home did too, whether you're doing it from, of course, inside out or maybe on your balconies, on your patios, maybe your verandas, or maybe hitting the trails. A lot of you were out there today, but I hope you also, while exercising, exercise, social distancing, and physical distancing. You said it, Lena, that lucky number 13 trend now right on track with our predictions. And again, our overnight low tonight will be 9, but we're in the peak of the evening. Sun is about to set in just a few minutes, 8:38 p.m. That's when it's gone for another evening. But what won't leave us just yet is that of high pressure. It's stuck. It's a good kind of stuck, though. We like this because when we have high pressure atop our heads and locked in the way it is, we're dry, we're clear, we're sunny in the days, and stargazing in the night. As you can see here, special weather statement indicating in the gray who will be impacted by this next low pressure system. And the special weather statement is in reason for a real good reason. So Toronto, we're included in this, areas across the GTA because of this. Here are your details. Rain, very heavy at times. The possibility of some isolated thunderstorms will be at risk, especially Sunday night, overnight Sunday into the Monday morning wet weather trend. Speaking of wet weather, wow, we could see up to 60 millimeters in areas across the GTA, up to 75 millimeters for Toronto Central, and in areas to our southwest and very near south, like the city of Hamilton, 80 to 100 millimeters of rainfall. Again, that timeline is tomorrow night starting right around this time to Monday night ending right around this time. But as you can see here, even through the overnight hours, we're still nice and dry. You early birds will catch that sun as it will rise. And again, the 5, 6 o'clock hour, and we will see a good first few hours of the day of that sunshine. Then just before the lunch hour, the clouds begin to build in, and boom, right there. Just before 8 o'clock, the first wave of rain begins to move in, and look at how heavy it is. When you see the density in the green, but also the yellow and the orange, that means very heavy rainfall. And look, it just continues to pour down on us, heavy at times. Don't see any storm cells on this particular weather model, but again, upwards to 20 to 25 millimeters overnight Sunday into Monday, and then it's an all-day wet weather affair on Monday for Toronto, 50 to 75 millimeters likely, and then we can breathe easy. Goodbye. A very soggy first unofficial, long weekend of summer. That's what they call this one. But Tuesday, we'll start to see the sunshine return, and that sun will hold well into Thursday night into Friday. We could even see a little bit of sunshine on your Friday as well. Also known as the very mild day over the next 5 to 7 day trend, 27 degrees, Lena. How epic is that, right? Yeah, I got her doing a little shoulder shake up at the desk there because it's something to dance to, right? You got 27 degrees of waiting. It kind of makes you feel like this, right? It makes you feel getting jiggy with it a little bit.
You know me, so you know when I'm doing this, it means I'm really happy with your weather forecast.
I'm so glad. You better keep doing this all night now.
Thank you for this. We really needed it.
I know, really. Get jiggy with it. Come on.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, Patricia, thanks so much. Well, golfers are teeing off as the province's golf courses reopened today. Groups took their swings on the first hole at Dentonia Park this morning, one of the city's 5 public courses. Players must book a tee time in advance, and walk-ons will not be allowed. Clubs and carts can be rented, and they will be cleaned and sanitized after every use.
I'm nervous, and I'm nervous about other people. I think the moment you start to reopen, people, because they've been in quarantine, may forget about the rules generally. They may forget that there's still, this virus floating around, and they may take a more lax approach. So I'm just wary of others, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? And golf season is here, so you got to take advantage.
Mayor John Tory stopped by Don Valley Golf Course this afternoon. He walked through the clubhouse and spoke to golfers while thanking staff for their work during the pandemic.
I just think people are happy. You know, they've had a tough winter and spring with the pandemic, and they're happy to be out golfing. Those who love golf are usually very passionate about it. So I'm so pleased we could open our courses, and they were all open right after the provincial order came down. And I'm happy that we can close some of the streets, and I gather down by the lakeshore it's packed. I'm going to go down and see that as well. And so, you know, hopefully people say a little sign of hope in this, a little sign of spring being here. And, you know, we have to make sure everybody's, you know, feeling happier after a period of confinement.
Marinas, boat clubs, and public boat launches have opened across the province today. People were previously allowed to place their boats in the water in preparation for the start of the boating season, but they weren't allowed to head out on the water until today. It's a nice day for that, too. 8:24, 13 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. 100 reasons to celebrate at a Midtown retirement residence today. We'll have details on this story coming up next.
These are unprecedented times in the GTA. We want to hear from you. How are you coping? How do Toronto's most vulnerable get help? We have answers. We are a big city, but we're a big family. We'll get through this together.
If you need a speedy mortgage and the bank won't help you, see Harold.
Do you need a mortgage fast? I provide second and third mortgages so easily and quickly that even a bank manager borrowed from me.
Harold, the jewelry buyer, Bathurst Street, 1 light south of Lawrence.
Hi, I'm Richard Sklar from David Sklar & Associates. We've all had our lives turned upside down by this COVID-19 pandemic. If you need financial help, we are still here for you. Ready for over-the-phone consultations, video consultations, and electronic document signing so that you can access our services from the safety of your home. We will get through this together.
At Harvey's, you can still get your favorite burger through takeout, our mobile order and pay ahead app, or by visiting us at our drive-thru. And for a limited time, get our flame-grilled 100% Canadian beef burgers delivered for free when you order through DoorDash or Skip the Dishes. Harvey's, it's a beautiful thing.
I use Speeds for Cash and own a house or a condo. I'm Harold, the mortgage closer. I can arrange a speedy mortgage and have the funds deposited into your account in 24 hours. $20,000, $50,000, even $100,000. Call me now for a speedy mortgage to relieve your financial stress. Fastest mortgage in town.
Ready? And cheers.
A woman living at a long-term care home in the city marked a major milestone today. Harry Ann Cronick is celebrating her 100th birthday. Friends and family paraded by the front of the Dunfield retirement residence to mark the very special occasion. Cronick's daughter spoke about the celebration.
Her party that she was supposed to have at a golf club got canceled, and, you know, 100th birthday, what do you do? And this came to us that we should do this because we really wanted her to have something to lift her spirits a little bit, because she's been pretty down.
Harry Ann was married to my dad for almost 25 years, and I've known her a long, long time, since I was 19. She's been wonderful. She planned my wedding. She's been amazing support, and we remain close to this day. And she should live as well as she's doing for many, many, many more years.
Oh, so special. Cronick was born on May 16th, 1920. It is 8:28, 13 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. One person is dead after an apartment fire in Scarborough. We'll have the very latest on this when we come back. Stay with us.